Hello everyone, it's Eliza McNamara here to talk to you today about learned helplessness. Something which I've realised is that a lot of people are caught up in learned helplessness in so many areas of their lives. And if they try and do something and they don't succeed with it the first time, they very frequently will not try again, and they will assume that it won't work if they try and do it again. And that's why most people are not successful, because they're caught up in this learned helplessness and it stops them from achieving their dreams. Like, for instance, if somebody has been trading the stock market successfully for, let's say, 10 years and they lose everything, they might wrongly assume that if they were to get back into it, that they'll lose everything again. But if they actually are objective and they have a look at their pain and pleasure associations and what it was specifically that they did that was stupid that made that happen, they'll actually realise that it's okay, they can get back into it. And this applies to so many different areas of our lives. It's insane. Like, years ago, I used to ride a bike everywhere. I wouldn't go anywhere without my bike. And then one day, I had a really bad bike accident. I fell off. And I haven't ridden a bike since then. That is another form of learned helplessness, because just because of an accident, I assume that in the future the same thing would happen, subconsciously of course, which is what stopped me from getting back on a bike. And people have this with so many things, with so many areas of their life, and they're caught up in this learned helplessness. Like, for instance, I know this man who used to be a successful stockbroker, and now he works in an English language centre in a college for absolute pittance, when he used to be very wealthy, and he knows how to trade, he's very good at it. But now he's stuck in this English language centre because he's scared, because he didn't protect himself, and goodness knows how long he'll be stuck there for. And the first time I became aware of this is when somebody told me about this elephant analogy. I think somebody told me, or I read about it. Basically, there's a story about an elephant in the circus. I think it's true, I'm pretty sure it's true, that when elephants are in the circus, when they're babies, they tie them to a pole. In fact, it is true. And when they grow up, they tie them to the same pole, and because they've been tied to the same pole for so long, even though the elephant is really, really strong and could easily pull the pole out of the ground and run off, it somehow believes that this tiny little pole is enough to hold it and keep it there and keep it trapped. And we're exactly the same in so many areas of our lives. Most of us, not all of us, most of us. But if you become aware of this learned helplessness and the tendency we have to become helpless if we do something and it doesn't work, and we're not determined, we don't try again, then you can really hold yourself back. Like, for instance, if I call a business, like whether it's Telstra or whatever, and I ask for something, and the first person I speak to says that I can't have it, then I will either ask to speak to a supervisor and ask somebody else, or I'll call back and ask the same question again. And 9 times out of 10, I will get what I want. Because just because one person says no, it doesn't mean the next person's going to say no. Like, this could also apply to sales as well. Like, in sales, if somebody is like selling a product, whether they're selling for a charity, or they're selling bottles of water on the beach, or they're selling whatever they're selling, it makes no difference what they're selling. If they're selling something and they're not very good at handling rejection, if they're having a day where they've received a bit more rejection than usual, they may try less and then obviously succeed less. And then a lot of salespeople get caught up in this pattern of, oh, well, there's no point in trying because it's not going to work anyway. And I think that being aware of this can really help people, especially people who are in sales, but just anybody really, to achieve results in any area of their life. Because you have to persevere with something to produce results with it, because you have to practice something in order to be really good at it. Some people claim to naturally be good at things, and rarely, I reckon, you get people who are naturally good at things like playing the piano or singing or whatever it happens to be. But I think the reason why they think they're naturally good at it is because they enjoy the practice so much, they're so passionate about the thing that they're doing, that it just comes naturally. I don't know if I like these videos. Oh, I like the last one. Fuck, I'm on a helicopter pad. That was funny. And then the helicopter lands on the other side. This is too funny. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay.